I saw an ad, just one on YouTube, and the next thing I noticed was this skinny looking guy that was out here butchering all these monsters like they owed him money. Solo leveling is not a story, it's a damn revenge arc against mediocrity. This boy was useless, pathetic. Then he got angry and started deleting everything. So let's talk about how one man went from bottom tier to final boss energy. We meet Sung Jin-Woo, a hunter that is so weak he wouldn't even survive a slap from a baby goblin, and I'm not even joking. He was known as an E rank hunter, and I'm sure you know what that means. Even the letter that was used to rank him, the way they designed the thing, looks like the thing just gave up on life itself. So I mean, shit was pretty bad for this guy. Other teams would throw him into dungeons just to pad their numbers. He was there as a background character. Ouch! Background decoration, pure red shirt energy. Nobody expected anything from him, and not even himself. When one day, and I mean one day, his raid party walks into a double dungeon, and from that moment that he entered, I knew that everybody's ancestors were angry. Statues started staring too much, and I'm telling you, if you've been watching anime long enough, you know that when statues start to stare at you, you know it's time to run. Let me paint the picture clearer. Statues started moving around like your auntie at that birthday party after she's had a few drinks. Hunters were getting sliced, crushed, burnt, screams everywhere. Blood was spraying like pure water sachets in a Lagos wedding. Jin-Woo looked around and says, "You go guys, I'll hold them off." Is this the same jelly spine boy from episode 1? Where exactly did he find this courage? And me personally, I almost stood up and clapped for him. Then he goes and dies, but at least he dies like a real one. At least that's what it looked like anyway to the rest of us. But no, our local hero wakes up in a hospital bed. Suddenly he sees a screen floating in front of him like it was a Call of Duty quest. Stats, inventory, everything that you would normally see in a video game. My guy became a human RPG. Now imagine nearly dying, and instead of seeing Jesus or your ancestors, you see Steam achievements. This is what we call divine intervention. He's leveling up like that's your little cousin who finally realized that his controller has not been plugged in the whole time. Every fight makes Jin-Woo stronger. Every dungeon adds muscle. Every enemy he kills becomes an unpaid intern in brutality. No more tears, no more stammering, just pain, upgrades, and war. Let's talk about glow-ups exactly. In episode 1, this boy looked like a librarian who skipped leg days for 10 years straight. But by episode 6, this man had abs like bricks, eyes that could grill plantain, and a voice so deep it could trigger PTSD. I mean, even his shadow gained swagger. The moment Jin-Woo stopped asking questions and started making bodies disappear, we all felt goosebumps. He doesn't monologue, he doesn't explain, he just shows up, looks at you, and you understand that today is your funeral. And you know what the best part is? He earns it. No power of friendship, no magical girl saving him last minute. He grinds like an African child studying through NEPA Blackout. You either become a killer or become history. Let's not lie, 90% of the supporting cast were there for pure ambience. Random hunters giving speeches before dying like it's a Nollywood film. Full drama, minimal impact. Jin-Woo's sister? She's a sweet girl, but she's mostly there as a plot device. Her role is just to remind us that he's still human. That's basically it. The manager? That man looks like stress in human form. He tries, but clearly he's out of his depth. Jin-Woo doesn't need a manager, he needs a warning label. Only 1 or 2 hunters are actually memorable enough to even mention. But let's be honest, this is a one-man show. That's why we're here. Everybody else is just seasoning. Jin-Woo is the pot of soup himself. On the note of animation, let us just give A1 Pictures their flowers. They didn't animate this thing, they literally baptized it in holy water. The choreography was clean, the lighting cinematic, the fights they hit harder than Nigerian parents. I'm talking mid-air slashes with camera spins, blood physics that deserve an Oscar. There's a moment where Jin-Woo teleports behind someone and it looks so smooth. I wanted to pause and clap myself. You can tell that the animators were possessed. They said, let's make something so crispy that even people who hate anime have to shut up. And they completely succeeded. This is peak visual spectacle. Talking about pacing, this show has no time for foolishness. There is no beach episode, no shopping filler, no stupid flashbacks for side characters that you really don't care about. Solo Leveling said each episode will either build power, kill something, or set up the next boss. It's like eating suya, no bones, just meat. It's the best thing ever. The show wastes no time at all. Even Jin-Woo's training arcs are efficient. They give you progress without dragging. Some anime takes 12 episodes just to do what this show does in 2. This show respects your time, so please respect it back. The key themes of season 1 is really about grinding till you ascend. Solo Leveling preaches the gospel of self-improvement through suffering. There is no teamwork makes dream work fairy tale here. Nope, that's not even here. Jin-Woo's message is simple. Nobody is coming to save you. Either you revolve or you die. There is no time for whining, no space for hand holding. This is survival of the fittest with extra protein. He trains in silence. He grows alone in darkness. He wakes up sore, bleeding, tired, and still gets back up. It's not even about becoming the strongest. It's about becoming untouchable. Every stat increase feels like a spiritual awakening. Every dungeon clear is therapy by violence. This is every African dad's dream child. No complaining, no distractions, just violence and results. If your enemies don't fear you by episode 8, you're not leveling up properly. Jin-Woo doesn't just power up, he evolves like a Pokemon with trauma, and that's what makes it satisfying. Every gain is earned in blood, sweat, and dungeon guts. Dark humor and savage moments in the show. Now, let me confess, some of the death scenes had me laughing, I'm not even going to lie, and not because they were tragic, but because the levels of disrespect were so biblical. It's not just the deaths, it's the disrespect economy. Jin-Woo is out here handing punishments like he's the school principal in an anime full of dropouts. He doesn't run, he doesn't warn, he walks into fights like a man already writing your obituary. And the monsters, they always, and I mean always, act surprised, like they thought they were different. Please sir, did you not see the last episode? Did you not see what I did to the last person in the previous episode? And the system, that system rewarded him like he just clocked in for violence every day. You level up by getting your hands dirty. It's not pretty, but it is very effective. Alright, so let's talk flaws and weaknesses of the show, because ultimately no show is perfect, not even Mr. Jin-Woo God Mode DLC himself. The RPG system sometimes, it can feel like a cheat code with plot armor. Now there are moments where you wish he would struggle a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that there isn't struggle for the character. There will be moments where there is clear struggle, but you feel like the system is a bit of a deus machina where it's always just there looking out for his best interest at heart. Some arcs also end a little too fast. A few boss fights were over before my popcorn even finished microwaving. We get it, he's strong, but build the tension a little bit more please. And the side characters, most of them were disposable like paper plates at a wedding. They come, they talk, they die, rinse and repeat. But honestly, we don't care. We're not here for emotional range. We're here for that dopamine rush of Jin-Woo, turning demonic threats into pixie dust. Before we continue, just to remind everyone, please hit subscribe because it helps the channel and it helps all of us level up just like Jin-Woo. So please, if you're watching, hit the subscribe button right now. Don't forget, go, do it now. Something struck me about this show in terms of cultural vibes. See, let me tell you why this anime fits African parenting so well. Discipline, check. Struggle, check. Progress from suffering, triple check. Now, talking less and doing more, hallelujah. If Jin-Woo was Nigerian, his father would hang his picture in a parlor somewhere. Not because he became strong, but because he did it without asking for help. No loans, no GoFundMe, just hustle in silence. He does not chase girls, he chases XP. He doesn't go to parties, he grinds. He doesn't beg, he upgrades. That's the dream. Even his relationship with the system. Think about it. It's just him and his destiny. The silent expectations, the pressure to rise. That's African masculinity in anime form. It's poetic if poetry had a body count. Let's call it for what it is. This is a glow up so hard that even barbers are studying it. The violence is so clean that it deserves a jazz accompaniment. The storyline is so efficient it could manage Nigerian elections. Is it perfect? No. But is it iconic? Absolutely. And if season 2 delivers, I will personally buy the animators Suya and Fanta, because this right here is worth the hype. Jin-Woo started from the dungeon floor and ended up a god. If that doesn't inspire you, please go and watch something else, maybe a cooking anime. This show is 8.3 out of 10 certified banger. If weakness is a sin, and Jin-Woo, I assure you, he has repented. Now, excuse me, I'm off to the gym, because if this boy can upgrade his life in 13 episodes, I don't know what my excuse is.